indicate the trust that has been reposed in you, and I know you will fulfill in every way the obligation that trust entails. You will remember that we are the true family of the American Legion because we are comprised of members from the American Legion, the Auxiliary, and the Sons of the American Legion, all serving as equals. You will at once familiarize yourselves with the duties of your particular office as stated in the Department of Florida ALR SOPs and the SOP of your chapter. You shall carry out your duties with a spirit of devotion while endeavoring to fulfill every obligation within. You must know the welfare and success of this chapter depends largely upon you. You must also know that upon your shoulders equally rests the burden of preserving the integrity of not only the American Legion riders, but of the American Legion itself. By the wearing of your patch, you are the most obvious participants of the American Legion family. You therefore must ensure that the conduct of this American Legion Riders chapter is above reproach. You must protect the good name of the American Legion Riders and the American Legion by your interactions and endeavors with the people of this community, state, and nation, for they will judge us based upon your conduct. Officers of the American Legion Riders Chapter 9, please raise your right hand and repeat after me, giving your name where I give mine. I, Sue Nist, do solemnly pledge myself to perform faithfully and impartially the duties of the office in the American Legion Riders Chapter 9 that I am about to assume. I pledge that I will support the goals and principles of the American Legion. I attest that I am not a member of and do not subscribe to the principles of any motorcycle club or group opposed to our form of government. ALR Chapter 9 officers, please turn and face the audience. I present to you the officers of your choice. I congratulate you on the selections you have made. Now that you have chosen them to guide the destinies of this chapter, it is your duty and responsibility to aid them in every way. Remember, they represent the entire family of the American Legion. Help them to keep the American Legion Riders an organization faithful to its purpose, principles, and ideas. All right, you guys can turn back around to me. To you, Director Chris, you are entrusted with very important duties. You must teach and protect the cardinal principles of the American Legion and the American Legion Riders. You are entrusted with the supervision of the duties of all officers of your chapter. Instill in them loyalty to your post, to your chapter, to the membership, and to the department, both state and national. You are more than the presiding officer for meetings. You shall be guided by the principles of your post and the decisions of the chapter body. Most of all, you must familiarize yourself with the governing rules and the traditions of the ALR. Understand it is your duty and obligation to fulfill all administrative requirements and attend all meetings required by your post and both your chapter and department SOPs. The responsibility of the success of this year's activities is upon your shoulders. By your sincere acceptance and earnest performance of these duties, may the trust your fellow Legion Riders have reposed in you be justified. I extend to you the congratulations of the Department of Florida and the 5th District, and I wish you well as you assume the responsibilities of your office. Congratulations to all of you. Sergeant Arms, you can escort them back to their seats, please.
Riders, and salute. 2, dismiss.
I am ready.
There it goes. Legionnaires, and salute. 2, Commander, I present you the newly elected officers of American Legion Post 9, whose squadron members have been authenticated and documented.
Hello, Walter.
I'm getting
How you guys doing today? You ready for this? I'm not going to do it anyways. That's how we roll, huh?
That's how we roll.
All right. My fellow Legionnaires, you have been chosen to fill the various offices of the Kelly J. Mixon American Legion Post 9. I know you will vindicate the trust that has been placed in you. I know you will fulfill every obligation required of you. Familiarize yourself with the duties of your office and carry these duties with the same spirit from which arose the American Legion. The welfare and success of this post depends on you, as does the preservation of the integrity of the American Legion. Protect the good name of the American Legion with the people of our great nation. Help them to know the Legion's purposes and its policies. Remember the tolerance that animates us as members. Remember, there is no rank among us, for we all serve as equals. We are all aiming for the same goals, the ideals of justice, freedom, democracy, and loyalty. Remember, too, the cardinal principles of the American Legion are the rehabilitation of all disabled veterans, care of the dependents of those who have answered the final call, care of those who now are suffering from wounds, disease, and want, the education of our children, and service to the community, state, and nation. At this time, if you would please raise your right hand, say I and state your name, or I state mine, and repeat after me. I, Miguel Garcia,
I, Elvis Hardy,
do solemnly pledge myself
do solemnly pledge myself
to perform faithfully and impartially
to perform faithfully and impartially
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of the American Legion
of the American Legion
I am about to assume.
I am about to assume.
And I further pledge
And I further pledge
I am not a member of
I am not a member of
and do not subscribe to
and do not subscribe to
the principles of any group
the principles of any group
opposed to our form of government.
opposed to our form of
You
government.
may lower your hands. Commander Randy Keener, you have just completed 1 year of service to the American Legion and to Kelly J. Mixon American Legion Post 9. The record of the post indicates the quality of your service. It is my hope that things you learned about the American Legion and the experience you gained will always be available to those who follow you and those who you lead. On behalf of the Department Commander, I thank you for the splendid service you have rendered the American Legion. You ready to do it again?
Absolutely.
All right, well, here we go. Okay?
That's what I like to hear.
I threw you out. Now I'm going to bring you back. Okay? Commander Randy Keener, you are entrusted with a very important duty. You must teach and protect the cardinal principles of the American Legion throughout your post. You are entrusted with the supervision of the duties of all officers of your post. The poor and the trouble will come to you, and you must see no veteran is turned away without full justice. Loyalty to your post, to its membership, to the state, and to the national organization are obligations which you now assume. You are more than the presiding officer for meetings. You are guided by the Constitution and the decisions of your post body. Yet, the responsibility of the year's programs is on your shoulder. You must initiate the programs, carry them through to completion. You must familiarize yourself with the traditions of your post and the American Legion. By your sincere acceptance and earnest performance of these duties, may the trust your fellow Legionnaires have reposed in you be justified. I extend to you the congratulations of the Department of Florida, and I wish you well as you assume the responsibilities of your office. And at this time, if I could have all the officers turn to face the audience. fellow Legionnaires, I present to you the officers of your choice. I congratulate you on the selections you have made. You have chosen them. Now, it's your duty to aid them in every way. Help them to keep the American Legion faithful to its principles and its ideals. Officers, would you please turn and face them here? Sergeant at Arms, would you please escort the newly elected officers of Kelly J. Mixon, American Legion Post 9, except the commander, to their seats?
Legionnaires, stand salute. Two.
Ebert, it is absolutely phenomenal what you have done for this post on membership wise. Mark, I'm going to present you with this 100% membership award. 100% membership. Ebert, my friend, you have done an absolutely amazing job with our membership. If nobody sees it, they're blind. You have been awarded by the Department of Florida and National American Legion the Patriot Award for all the work you have done for the membership. And it is my honor to present this to you. Thank you, guys. Now, I'm not going to do the installation on this one because I am also being installed. Sergeant Arms, can you please take them back to the line? Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant at Arms, can you bring before me Shannon Wolford, who is our 5th District SAL Vice Commander. Not staying up here very well, so.
I'll help you.
And I also, guys, my Sergeant at Arms for 5th District SAL is Randolph Ford.
Good afternoon. Please bear with me. It's my first installation as I have just been thrown into this as of yesterday.
You got it, Shannon.
You know I do.
You had a whole day?
I have all day. I've been promoted, demoted, and promoted again. So, all in one day. So, all right. Gentlemen, you have been chosen to fill the various offices of the squadron. You will, I know, vindicate this trust that has been reposed in you and fulfill in every way the obligations that trust entails. You will at once familiarize yourselves with the duties of your particular offices, and you will proceed upon the duties in the same spirit of devotion and endeavor to characterize your father's service in any of the great wars, out of which came your basis for membership in the American Legion and your own in the Sons of the American Legion. You must know that the welfare and success of this squadron depends largely on you. You must know also that upon your shoulders equally rests the burden of preserving the integrity of the Sons of the American Legion. You must protect and advance its good name before the people of this community, state, and nation. You must exalt it in their eyes. You must make them know, as we know, its purposes and its policies. Forever remember the tolerant spirit that animates its members. There is no rank among us, for each serves as the equal of his comrade, and all strive toward the same goal, which is the realization of the life of the Republic, of the ideas of justice, freedom, democracy, and loyalty. Forever remember that the cardinal purposes of the Sons of the American Legion are the care of the dependents, those who have answered the final call, and those who are now suffering from disease and want. Rightful education of the children of our country, and devoted service to the community, state, and nation. Will you raise your right hand and repeat after me, giving your name? I, Shannon Woodford, do solemnly pledge.
I, Darius Smith, solemnly do pledge.
To perform faithfully and impartially.
Perform faithfully and impartially.
The duties of the office.
The duties of the office.
And the Sons of the American Legion.
The Sons of the American Legion.
And I am about to assume.
I am about to assume.
And I further pledge.
And I further pledge.
I am not a member of.
I am not a member of.
And I do not subscribe to.
And I do not subscribe to.
The principles of any groups.
Principles of any groups.
Opposed to our form of government.
Opposed to our form of government.
I mean, lower your hands. Commander.
Yes, sir.
To you is entrusted a very sacred duty, that of teaching and protecting the cardinal principles of the Sons of the American Legion. Throughout your entire squadron, to you it is entrusted supervision of the duties of all other officers of the squadron. To you, you will become the indigent and the distressed, and it is your duty to see that no worthy comrade is turned away without justice. It is your duty to see that freedom is ever the watchword of those with whom you may come in contact. Loyalty to your squadron, to its membership, to the American Legion, are requirements which you now assume. You are more than the presiding officer for meetings. You are guided by the Constitution, by the decision of the squadron as a body. Yet the responsibility for failure or success of this year's program is largely on your shoulders. You must initiate and carry programs through to completion. You must thoroughly familiarize yourself with policies and traditions of your squadron and the Sons of the American Legion. To you, I extend the congratulations of the American Legion, and I wish you well as you assume the responsibilities of your office. I present to you the officers of your choice. I congratulate you on the selections you have made. Now that you have chosen them to guide the destinies of the squadron, it is your duty to aid them in every way. Help them keep the Sons of the American Legion a free organization of free men, faithful to its principles and its ideas. That's all right. Sergeant Thomas, dismissed.
Post 9, and salute. Ready?